G'day boys and girls, this is my first kind of vlog on kosher vegan, also known as the ginger jihadi, also known as carved up parenting. Anyway, today we're looking at I Quit Sugar for Life by Sara Wilson. Some comments and criticisms. Hey kitties in the back. I have to, anyway, busy man, we've got to do this on the fly. So, a lot of good things in here, some less good things. But the good things are, encourages eating greens, got quinoa in here, that's a good thing, But there's a few interesting ideas in here I want to discuss with you, Sara Wilson, and I hope you could kindly respond. So page 4 of your book, you refer to the blue zones. This is a book by Dan Buettner. I actually listened to it, and I've got to disagree completely with what you said. You said, Dan Buettner, author of the blue zones, says that there's one distinguishing food in all the zones that they all have in common, and that is pork. Basically, quick rundown of the blue zones. These are geographic locations where there's a high concentration of people who live to 100 and beyond, centurions, etc. So basically the four in the book, there's 4 in the book, is Ikoya in Costa Rica. You've got Okinawa, which is a prefecture, like a state of Japan, a little island in the Pacific. You've got then California, Southern California, the Adventists, and the 4th one is Sardinians. All right, that's an island, off Italy. And basically, not all of them have pork. In Sardinia, they eat lamb. And they eat it once a week or once a fortnight on religious occasions. They don't eat pork. It never said anything in the book, I listened to it on Audible, about pork in Sardinia. In Okinawa, they do eat pork, but they eat it very, very infrequently. They eat it only on religious occasions. So infrequent pork consumption. In Ikoya, they do cook with a bit of lard, but or pork as well, very infrequent, because these people are poor, and when you're poor you can't afford meat, and you certainly can't afford the cuts of meat and all the meat that's involved in this cooking book. Then the real spanner in the works here is the Adventists in Southern California, which is great because that's a Western country. These people are living to 100 and they're healthy as anything. And what's with the Adventists, the Adventist Health Study? They're vegetarian. Not eating any pork, mate. Not eating, no meat. Not all Adventists are vegetarians, but the ones who are vegetarian and the ones who are vegan are bloody healthy and living long lives. So a big spanner in the works there about the pork, and I don't know why you mentioned it. Maybe because you're a blogger, and maybe, I'm not sure, I'm just discussing this in the public interest, and in my honest opinion, I'm asking here, maybe you got some suggestions from the Pork Council to mention pork in this book. Maybe, I'm not sure. So, and you mentioned here in Sardinia, they slow roast it. Maybe they do in 2015, but the traditional diet, and the one that was referred to in the book, involved lamb once a week or once a fortnight on religious occasions. Again, they're poor. They can't really afford meat every day. Japanese, they do eat pork, and they did mention pork in Okinawa, and there was some speculation about the pork, but again, the consumption of pork was very infrequent. So really what it boiled down to, and if you listen to the conclusion of the blue zones, and I encourage everybody to read the blue zones, basically the thing that was recommended was a plant-based diet, infrequent meat consumption. So that goes against everything that's pretty much in this book, and I don't know why you mentioned that book, the blue zones, to support your case. You did mention that there's a 5th zone in Greece somewhere. That's probably a new development, and that wasn't in the original book. But anyway, Sarah, I really hope you respond to this. I'm interested in your thoughts and comments. And I'm just going to email Dan Buettner and just tell him that you were kind of referring to him in this manner, saying that he was recommending pork because he might be interested in that as well. So anyway, guys, just don't believe everything you read in books. Always question, what that is. And I knew that was a bit of a porky pie right off the bat, but I was happy because it gave me an opportunity to listen to that book, and it was a really great book, which just kind of shows that there's, some evidence to suggest that a plant-based diet, i.e. low to no meat consumption, will increase longevity. So guys, stay kosher, stay vegan, stay carb. See you, bye.